All right, so you're on the parity section. Now keep in mind that your parity, I can guarantee, looks different than mine. There are so many combinations, but all we're gonna do is learn how to use one algorithm. We just have to apply it differently. Now we did this when we ran into parity after getting the edge parity. We had center, parity again, and we were doing that, like split through the center, above the parity, behind the parity, that one. We're gonna do that. And what we're looking for here is pieces that are equivalent to each other. So I can see that these ones are, so we're going to work on these corner ones first. Okay, so the red one needs to go here. Okay, and these ones are in. Okay, so since these are in, and yeah, so what we're going to do, I can see that this orange here and this red and yellow belong up here. These ones are already in. So let's go ahead and turn this here. And then now, once we do a setup move, right, we can move this parity however we want, and it's not going to affect anything because we can just do the setup move again. All right, so this is what I'm doing. I'm putting these two up here while maintaining the skeleton, so to speak. So we bring it up here and we put those in and we bring it down. You can see we've taken some centers out here, but that's okay. All right, so you can see that these ones are in. Now these have to swap. So these are parity situations. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap these out. Now that we have some kind of equilibrium between them and we've found, that they're aligned together, we can switch them. So you want the parities on the left and the right. And the U move is going to go underneath the parity and above the parity. Okay, the F goes behind the parity all the time, and the R goes with the parity. So the algorithm is U2, R2, F2. Okay, so now U2 again, under the parity, and then above the parity. And then F2, R2, U2. And you can see that we have swapped those. All right, so now it may look like we do not have any kind of equilibrium because we have 3 here, 1 there, 3 here, 1 there, but I also see we have this one here and this one here. So let's take care of that first. All right, so the parity's on the left and the right. So this is how we're going to hold it. And now instead of this being U, now this is U, okay? So again, when you have parity, you want to, we're not looking at this as one whole parity. We're looking at it sort of as 2, okay? So we're looking at this piece and this piece as one parity, and in this piece and this piece as another parity. So when I say splitting through the parity, what I'm actually saying is splitting under the parity, because we're splitting under and then over again. All right, so that's how this algorithm works. And then the F is always behind the parity, and the R is always going to be a single move. So under the parity, U2, R2, F2 behind the parity, U2 under the parity, U2 over the parity, F2 behind the parity, R2, and then U2. And you can see that it has brought the parity out because it moves everything in front of the parity and switches it as well. Because these didn't have parity, it now created parity. So now we do it again, but behind the parity is just this one now. It's not over here. All right, so we go U2 under the parity, R2, F2 behind the parity, U2 under, U2 over, F2 behind, R2, and then your U2 under. Okay, so now it may look like we don't have any kind of equilibrium here because we have one out, and that doesn't really make any sense. We don't have another one here to create 2 parities. Same with over here. But what we do have is 2 center pieces that are together, and then these 2 center pieces. So we can actually discard this yellow or this white and this white, and we can look at these 2 white pieces as a parity with these 2 yellow pieces. So we can actually do the parity splitting through here above and not even really regard these. We'll deal with those after. So let's go ahead and take this out. We're going to have to do it twice because remember, it moves the parity up in front. So U2 under the parity, R2, F2 behind the parity, U2 under, U2 over, F2 behind, R2, and U2. So predicted, it took the parity out, but it moved it in front, so do it again. but now switching your F to this because it's behind the parity. So U2, R2, F2, U2 under, U2 over, F2, R2, and U2. All right, so as predicted, that took the parity out. So now you can see that we actually do not have any equilibrium, which means we have to actually use some setup moves, because if this yellow was here and this white was here, then we could actually do it. But we kind of have to set it up that way, but it is not quite so easy. So I haven't done this very much because this is a very rare case, so I'm actually going to figure it out as we go. So what I would probably do is I want to get some type of equilibrium between these. Okay, so if I move this here and just move that one, now I can see that I've got some equilibrium. Okay, right? Yellows and whites. And move this one here. So that's usually how I get rid of it. Okay, so I'll put the parities on the left and the right, and I'll choose the one in the back, and I'll just turn that slice over and then do an R2. Now hopefully I will do the parity algorithm, and I'll be treating this piece here and this piece here as parity, because this will come in here and solve that. This will come over here and create equilibrium here with this yellow. You see what I mean? So then when we reverse our setup moves, we should have equilibrium. So it's hard to understand. I've been doing this for quite a while. So again, if you come across a case like this, it doesn't matter. You might have it here and here, or you might have it here and there. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what you want to do is put the parities on the right and the left, find the slice in the back with the parity in it, and turn it over, a B2, and then just do an R2. And then do your parity like you would in the same slice on this way and this way. So I'll be doing this piece and this piece. So that's U2 through the parity, or under, sorry, R2, F2 behind the parity, U2 under, U2 over, F2, R2, and then F2 again. But you can see that we have moved the parity up front, so we have to do it again using this as our F. So U2, R2, F2, U2 under, U2 over, F2, R2, U2. So now let's undo our setup moves and see what happened. So we do this, and then we do this. And as you can see, we now have an equilibrium right here and here. I hope equilibrium is the right word, or I'm going to look like a fool. Anyways, it's equal. And Equilibrium is a cool movie. Anyway, so we've got this and this. So we just do it the same way, treat the parity here. So U2 under, R2, F2 behind. U2 under, U2 over, F2, R2, U2, which predictably moved the parity up front. Now we just do it one more time and our puzzle should be solved. So U2 under, R2, F2 behind, U2 under, U2 over, F2 behind, R2, and then U2, and we have solved the ultimate shapeshifter 4x6x8 with every single parity we could even come across. So that was actually a really good demonstration. Hopefully the edges part, the yellow part where we had that massive parity, didn't confuse you too much. But anyways, hopefully you've got your solve too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.